I want to talk about skilled migrant category. New Zealand needs and wants fluent English-speaking migrants who have the qualifications, skills and experience in occupations that we consider to be skilled occupations. The skilled migrant category is a points-based system. You gain points for age. You must be under the age of 56, and the younger you are, the more points you will get. You get points for qualifications. That's qualifications at a tertiary gained, diplomas, bachelors, masters, or trade certification. If your qualifications are earned in New Zealand, you will get more points. You'll get points for your work experience if it is relevant to your qualification or to your skilled job offer. And finally, you get points for your job. That can be a job offer or an existing job if you already happen to be in New Zealand working in that job. This is the most critical part. You will not get a residence visa unless you have a skilled job offer or skilled job employment already. The determination of whether a job is skilled comes down really to two factors. The immigration policy has a list of occupations that it considers skilled. It's found under Appendix 6. So in Appendix 6 of Immigration Instructions or Immigration Policy, there is a list of all job occupations that Immigration New Zealand consider to be skilled. Those occupations are identified by a classification code called ANZCO. ANZCO stands for Australia New Zealand Standard Classification of Occupations. It is a joint venture between New Zealand and Australia, where we have standardized the description of occupations in New Zealand. Once you have identified that your occupation is found in Appendix 6, then you'll go back to ANZCO, which will describe for you that occupation. And it will list the generic sort of tasks and duties that someone is expected to perform if they are working in that occupation. Once you've applied and you reach the stage of verification, Immigration New Zealand will often visit your employer or your intended employer. They will ask to see your job description, your employment agreement. Your job description must be appropriately describing the tasks that conform to the tasks and jobs found in ANZCO. Immigration New Zealand will send a verification officer to your employer, to the site of employment, and try to determine and make an assessment as to whether the tasks you are actually performing are in fact those that are appropriate to the job occupation that you claim to be employed in. Also with your employer, Immigration New Zealand will make a determination as to whether your employment is sustainable. That is your job genuine? Is the employer genuine? Does the employer have the financial ability to sustain your employment in the long term, beyond 12 months? To do this, Immigration New Zealand will often ask your employer to provide evidence of that, such as financial records, the financial statements, balance sheet, profit and loss sheet. They may ask to see GST returns and company PAYE returns. All of that information is to determine whether your job is genuine and stable. Finally, English language. You are expected to have an English language fluency equivalent to level 6.5 of IELTS. Immigration may determine you have this based on your education. If you took your university degree in a solely English language environment, or if you've worked in New Zealand in your job for more than 12 months, they may consider that sufficient. But at all times, if Immigration New Zealand, if the officer assessing your case has some concerns about your English language level, they may require you to sit the actual IELTS test. So those of you looking to come to New Zealand for skilled migrant, remember, the most important thing is the job. Without the job, you cannot be approved for residency under the skilled migrant category. And on another additional note, because of the need to have a job, there is a black market for selling and buying jobs, if you like. So those of you looking to do that, if Immigration New Zealand are determined that is what's happened, your application will be declined. It is unlawful to do that. And further, my experience, seeing many applicants who've gone down that route, talked to some employers, the jobs are quite often rubbish anyway, and you pay all that money and you still get declined. So anyway, that's a few notes on skilled migrant category. I hope it's useful.